What was the main point that you were trying to hit home today in the oral arguments?
The main point that I was trying to hit home is that I think that the Court of Appeals really did not defer to the jury in this case, and that's what appellate courts are supposed to do. They're supposed to respect the jury's assessment of the weight of the evidence and the credibility of the witnesses that testify. And in this case, the Court of Appeals kind of ignored some of the key witnesses that testified. And that is not what a reviewing court is supposed to do on appeal. And it's a published decision, so it's something that will remain the law of the state unless this court does something about it. But this court, I'm talking about the Court of Criminal Appeals.
What did it feel like to be back in the court and have this issue come back before judges?
Well, first let me say, these two lawyers, Adele and what's your name,
Brian.
Brian White.
WICE
were
for the
incredible. I mean, if I were still in Congress, I'd want him right there with me because what a fighter he is. And he stood up for what was really truth and what this was all about. The second thing was, I was really impressed with the knowledge that these judges had in this case. This is the first time. Now, I didn't go to the last hearing. I wished I had, but this was the first time that a judge that I saw had read the case, had read the opinion, and read the testimony, and really understood what this was all about. And it's all about criminalization of politics.
When this is all over, what do you hope to prove to everyone?
Well,
That he's not guilty? How about that?
That'd be kind of neat. A little justice might still exist in Texas judicial system.
If the conviction remains overturned and this thing is a wash, what are your plans? Are you going to get back into the political arena? Will you run again?
Well, I don't know what the Lord has in for me. I know that I have walked with him every step of the way, and I give him all the glory, particularly today, because I thought he was sitting on Brian's shoulder. But I won't change. I haven't gotten out of politics. I've been involved in a lot of different ways. The Democrats nor the left have slowed me down one iota over this long period of time. And I am still involved. So nothing
Involved
change
behind the
other than
scenes.
maybe I get a job.
What are your options? What are your options if there is a guilty verdict? What are your legal options?
Okay, well, I'm not quite sure I understand your question, Judge Myers. It's not a guilty verdict. What you're saying is, God forbid that a majority of this court ultimately agrees with what the state had to say today, then my position, and I didn't hear any real contrary assertion from the state, we're entitled to go back to the Austin Court of Appeals because our primary claim all along since the summer of '42 has been checks aren't funds, couldn't have been proceeds. But my take is, I've been doing this for 30 plus years since I clerked at the Court of Criminal Appeals, and I've always believed that I have a pretty good sense of where we stand when we walk out of that courtroom, and I'm cautiously optimistic that a majority of this court will recognize that this case is not about money laundering and criminal conspiracy, but like Tom said, and like I told the court, the criminalization of politics. You cannot do what this prosecutorial posse of Ronnie Earl and his handpicked successor, Rosemary Lemberg, did. There is a fine line between prosecution and persecution, and these folks crossed it a very long time ago.
And I might just say, you said in your brief that this is legislating by prosecution.
By indictment.
By indictment. And hopefully somebody out there in the media will recognize that and actually read what's in this case and look at it for what it really is, and the truth will come out.
Congressman, Governor Perry right now is going through a grand jury review. Do you feel like what's happening to him is the same thing that's...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because he had the audacity to speak up about this public integrity unit here in Travis County.
I mean, these guys are the princes of the city. This is a unit down the street with statewide jurisdiction working for one elected prosecutor. And if that doesn't scare the locally elected prosecutor, and if you don't think that scares the bejeepers out of anybody who believes that there is a difference between prosecution and persecution, you know, I'll kiss you behind a Macy's window.
You mentioned the criminalization of politics. Will the political makeup of this court behoove you at the end of the day?
Well, let me tell you about that, because to the chuckleheads who think this is about Democrats and Republicans, In the words of noted legal sage Bryce Harper, any baseball fans out there, that's a clown question, okay? This isn't about Democrats and Republicans. This is about a level playing field and the rule of law. And I don't care what Ms. Taylor, for whom I have great respect, and like me, an alum of this court, ultimately told you guys beyond what she could have, which is, yeah, we don't like Tom DeLay, he's a bad guy, let's bring him up. At the end of the day, you cannot take a series of perfectly legal transactions and transform them because you say so, because it says public integrity on your stationery, into an illegal act. And you can do that until Lindsay Lohan wins an Oscar, but it's not going to change the fact that this man is not guilty of money laundering and he's not guilty of conspiracy, and shame on those folks down the street.